Hello everyone and welcome. I am Robin with robinswreathery and Wise Gifts. Welcome. We're going to be working with an item that we've had for a while, but we've changed how we're going to put it together. So let me just see if I can find this here. Hey Tiff, how are you? Welcome. Come on. Yay! It's working. Unbelievable. Let's see if we can pull up comments too. Oh my gosh. I think we're going to have comments too. All right. So when we introduced this last year at Christmas time, this is the way we did it. We actually made it into a dog or a cat door hanger. It's supposed to be a big ornament. So we went and foiled it. Then we put this ribbon down the middle. And you can either get this one of two ways now. You can buy it, the ornament, with the ho, ho, ho. Or you can buy the ornament to do it differently than that. It does come with a button bow holder. But this is what we did. I'm good, Tiff. We've added this for the top, which the other one will come with that now. We also have added a frame to put in here. Now I received an order for 5 of these. I went ahead and I made one up yesterday, and now I'm doing the other 5. All my watchers know that if they ask, I can also include the photo that goes in the middle. Now, what my customer wanted was Victorian shabby chic bells in the middle of this ornament. So, since I have 5 of them made, 6 actually, I'm going to be able to show you start to finish. So, one thing, and I have this in the comments, this is the vintage tea rose that I used on this. This is the rose gold glitter that I used on this. So what I did first was I painted this. Then I used the copper spray paint, which I got from Michael's, and I sprayed the topper and the Victorian frame with it. So now what I'm going to do is just show you how to put it all together. All right, so this is my newest favorite glue. It's called Weld Bond. Now I found this at Hobby Lobby. So what I'm going to show you, I went ahead and I painted both sides with the rose, tea rose. So now what we're going to do is we're going to glue the topper up here. Now I only need one of those. We'll put that away. So I'm going to glue the topper on here before I put the glitter on. So I used a little bit of this and I spread it around. Gotta watch because it can come out fast if you're not being careful, and it can glob out the sides. So I'm going to put that there. And I think what we'll do is we'll pull you down so you can see. Make it easier on you. There we go. All right, so we've added the glue. This will set up quite well. Not as quick as the other stuff, but it will dry within the hour and set up for sure overnight. So I always put some clips down when I have stuff like this. All right. Now what we're going to use is we're going to use some school glue. Now let me get another piece of paper. because this will get messy. So we're going to take school glue and we're going to glue it all over. Now I want to get a little bit of this off. I don't want it so wet that... Hey Monica, how are you? Let me see if I can pull that camera back just a little bit so you can see the top of the ornament. Let's see if that works. It's like a delay, so let me just see if we've got it in frame. We should. It's not going to show me right away, is it? There we go. Now it's crooked and it's bothering me. I'm a stickler for crooked. Let's see if that kind of... There we go. There. Much better. All right. So, I showed you how to glue this. I told you about the paint. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take school glue and we're going to glue the whole top of this. Whoa. That might be too much. We'll see. All right. And you want to work fast at this because school glue can dry fast. And you kind of want to go in the same direction when you're doing this, because otherwise you're going to end up with streaks and you don't want a bunch of streaks. So I'm kind of just pushing my paintbrush along there so it will go ahead and get all the nooks and crannies. Now what we're going to be doing is we're going to glitter one side of this. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, Robin, that stuff's going to be all over. No, it won't. Because I found a secret this weekend. So, I'm being kind of quick about this because I don't want it drying. So, there's a little glue booger. Nothing worse than a glue booger. All right. So I think we're good on this. So I'm just going to kind of go up and down. Another glue booger. Because I kind of want it to be just nice and even. All right. Check this out. Economy size. 15 ounces of the rose gold. Now I am going to generously pour this around. I love the wide mouth on this thing. I could just sit here and just dump glitter all day long. All right, so now we're going to kind of shift it that way, shift it this way, shift it that way, and then shift it downwards. Uh-oh. We missed some. So I'm going to dip my brush in this glue and put a little glue on there. And then we're going to see if we can just flip this upward. Yes. Is, and because I'm doing 5 of these for the customer, she has a vintage, it's an old jewelry store, and so she likes to decorate it with the Victorian look at Christmas, so that's why I'm making these for her. So we're going to tap off any more that's just hanging on there, and I'm seeing a little spot I missed, so I'm just going to put a little there. There we go. All right. So, this is awesome because it just goes right back in there. I think this was like $11 at Michael's. And of course, this weekend, it was Hello Fall, and I got my senior discount, and then I also got more off. So, all right, so this is pretty well set up, so I'm going to take this off. All right, now, through the magic of television here, I've already done this one with glitter, and it feels like it's totally dry. Now, let me just move this aside. Now, if you were to run your hand across this, you are going to get some glitter on you, all right? But the secret I found out this weekend is, So, Mod Podge gloss. If you use that, hi Nanny Dot, if you use that to paint over this, you are not going to have any glitter coming off. And I'm serious, I tried it. So, it's already dry. So now, I'm going to take a chippy brush. I had one of my bigger brushes, and I don't think it was good enough. So, what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to cover over the glitter. Now see, not a lot is coming off on my brush, and I think the chippy brush is the best one to use for this. Like I said, I used one of my paint brushes, but the chippy brush seems to go over the glitter better. Something on there. It's probably that bug I had flying around here earlier. He met his doom. All right. Thank you, Tiff. Y'all wouldn't mind hitting the thumbs up and sharing. I'd really appreciate it. See, you can easily go back and forth with a chippy brush, and it doesn't leave a lot of streaks like the regular paintbrush did on me. So maybe for your gluing and your Mod Podge, I would definitely use a chippy brush. This stuff is fantastic, because you won't have any glitter coming off when you go to store this, or any glitter coming off on your hand when you pick it up. I got glitter in this room from one end to the other. All right, so I'm just kind of doing longer streaks just to make it more even. There we go. All right. Now, just pretend that it's an hour or so. Well, I would let this set up overnight, okay? It should be dry to the touch in about an hour, but because of the next step, I would definitely go ahead. Now, this is one I already did. I already put the Mod Podge on top of the glitter. See? No glitter coming off. So that definitely is a game changer using that Mod Podge. So see how we're doing this? We're moving right along, and you're not missing any steps, right? All right. Now, because this is still tacky, I'm not going to do the next step, but I will show you. This comes with a Victorian frame. All my regular watchers know that if you ask me, I will send you one of the bells. Okay, there's a vintage, I've got several to choose from. Actually, there's 6, and I've got 5 here. These are really pretty bells. Thank you, Rach. All right, so what you're going to do is, I had a pattern here. Let me just make sure this is the right one. This is the right one. So what I did was I put this over the picture, and then I just took a pencil and I drew around the outside of the frame, and then I cut the picture and glued it to the back of the frame. Now pretend this is the one that you let dry overnight. You've already done your glitter, your glue, your paint, your Mod Podge. So this is set up overnight and ready to go. So let's go ahead and cut out our picture. I hope we have it cut out right. I had to trim a little off of it, but these bells are absolutely gorgeous. And the customer came this morning to kind of check and see if she liked what I did, and she just like flipped. All right. So this was already spray painted with copper spray paint. All right. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to have to trim this a little bit up here. But what I did was I took this top and I got the hanger even with that, and then I took the bottom of the bell and I got the bottom of the bell even with that. So it looks like this side has to be cut a little more. So I'm just going to kind of mark in here where I need to cut. Let's go ahead and trim that a little more. I've had so much fun with this project for her, designing this. All right. So we are good. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to glue this to the back. And I'm trying to think what glue. I'm going to use a little bit of hot glue. I think that's the best way to go. And I'm going to glue, actually I think I used the True Weld or the Weld Bond glue instead of this, so it sits up flat. Yeah, I'm going to have to use the other glue because we don't want this raised in any way, shape, or form, or it's not going to sit on here when we're ready to glue that. All right, so let's go ahead and use some of this. This is Weld Bond. They sell it at Hobby Lobby. This is a 5.4 ounce jar for bottle for $5.99. Well worth it. This glue is amazing. Just gonna kind of, it gets a little goopy, so you really have to be careful. All right, just gonna lay it there, but then go to the front and match, line this up with that, and line the bottom up with this little area. There we go. Isn't that beautiful? Can you see that vintage bell? Gorgeous. All right. So, if this had dried overnight, then I would go ahead and ooh, got a little hanging over there. We don't want that. We got to take care of it now. There we go. Still a little hanging over. There's my curved scissors. They would do it really good right now to use those. Get it off the side and onto the frame area. All right. Let's see now. Perfect. All right. So what I did from here was I have a small, let me get it for you. I have a small glass. Oh, tearing the place apart. I have this really heavy glass cutting board. So what I did was, and I'm going to go ahead and do it because if it doesn't work, I will be surprised. Like I said, this comes out so quick. There's like no way to control it, but it is awesome glue, and it does dry clear. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to line it up with the middle on the topper, and I'm going to line it up with this. So I want my points to kind of line up with the point down at the bottom and in between here at the top. And then what I did was I kind of measured from the side to make sure, come on, to make sure I had about the same distance, and I do, on there. And in using this glass cutting board as a weight, I was also able to see if it shifted any when I put it down. Because you know sometimes if you have too much glue on there, it will shift on you. All right. So now my plan is to adjust this just a little bit there. My plan is to let this sit overnight and dry. So again, let me see if we can pick this up without sliding it and let it dry overnight. Okay, I'm back again. It's overnight. I'm in the same outfit. Ha ha ha. And here's what it looked like when it was done. I have a little piece of trim in there. I also went ahead and I used resin in here. And when I put the resin in there, I had some bubbles to pop. I used the lamp that we use, okay? And I set it for like 99 seconds 3 times. I did that to preserve the picture. I'm not sure where she's going to store them. I wanted to make sure that the picture was, because this is glossy paper, glossy photo paper, so I didn't want that getting damaged. I'm sure if you didn't have that, you could get a piece of acetate and glue it over top of it, but I just thought this made it really pretty. No glitter coming off on my hands. So this looked kind of blank at the end here, so I added some flat pine. I added some berries. So now I'm going to show you how I did this. And I'm going to take it apart and show you that way. Where did I put my wire cutters? Here they are. Because I want you to see this project from beginning to end. I also went ahead and I spray painted my button bow holders to match. I also went ahead and bought these ornaments at Hobby Lobby, and this was silver. I didn't want silver because we're going with this copper brass antique look. So I actually went ahead and I spray painted these little things off of the ornament, which, by the way, all this was half off on, oh, don't want those two, we want the copper ones. But I put them on a skewer, and this one fit at the top of the skewer, like that. So I spray painted both of these to match the copper on this and the copper on here and here. Okay, so we're going to put this together because she wanted copper. So what we're going to do is, thank you, Rachel. I knew you'd love it, girlfriend. And to think, those just joining, to think this that we introduced last year is the same ornament. So there are so many possibilities with this, because I thought you could put a really nice long piece of glitter or ribbon, no, lace down here and do all this, you know, there's so many variations to that. So it's listed in the description, but they're both on the same listing. And I'm thinking now I didn't separate them. So if you're ordering tonight, just make sure you put down in the comments whether you want the paw print or the Victorian. So now we're putting our beads back on now that they match. And let's go ahead and put this one back on. So I'm actually going to put this in the bow, but what she also wants, and I bought more, she also wants one of these. That's why the other ones have a hole at the bottom. This one does not. I'll have to drill one because that was after the fact. I didn't think she had enough room for the length that this thing is, or the height. And she said yes, she did. So she wants more jewels on it. Come on. Okay, we're just going to cut you because I'm not going to sit here and mess with ya. Thank you. So this one is going to actually get attached to the bottom once I put a hole in it. But doesn't that look pretty? So what I'm using in here, I'm going to show you all the pieces I bought. All right. I think it makes it easier if you see everything. Now these were $4.99. All right, they've got glitter in it. I could go ahead and put some more of that other glitter, but I'm not, because I think there's too much. So I cut off 2 arms from this, and look, so I could get 3 out of this one. Okay. Then you have this, which is, and I think Rachel used this. I went with it because it had the color that I wanted. So I'm cutting these up and I'm getting at least 1.5 out of these. I think this one already got cut. I'm not sure. But this was $2.99. This was $4.99. And then I got some of this. And then I also have some of this, which I went ahead and spray painted some of them the copper color, just to have it all blend. I even, because what I'm going to do is the one that she doesn't take, I'm actually going to do a wreath on Wednesday, a whole Victorian Christmas wreath. So I wanted some filler for in the greenery that was copper in color. So I actually took 1 pack of my boxwood totally apart and spray painted all the pieces and then put them back on. I also had some poinsettias that were really looking bad. So I added more glue and glitter to the tips. I went ahead and I put glitter to match the glitter on this in the inside, in the middle. I have some really nice big balls that are going to go in that wreath. I have some glittered balls that are actually 3-toned. So it's got that color in it, plus it has gold and another color. So they're all going in the wreath too. All right, so let's take this. Oh, and one more thing I wanted to show you, because I thought this was an awesome deal. I learned from one of my friends on Etsy that you can use garland for a lot of things. Now this garland, it doesn't tell you what it is, but it was $9.99. It's 6 feet, but it just has all this on it. So I'm taking, there's 3 to each section. So I'm taking some of this and actually incorporating this into the design of the top. Because I thought, you know, for $6.99 or $9.99, and then it was half off of that, I just thought I could not get it, because look at how much I've got. 6 feet of it. So I thought I would get a lot of use out of that too. Stay up there. And I also bought some of these because I know how she's into the bling bling. So, but she didn't particularly want those in there, which is fine. I'll keep them for myself. But these were $3.99 for 4 of them and half off. So let's go ahead and put our bow together. So what I did first was, like I said, I took 2 of the pieces of this and I just straddled that. Okay. Then I went and put 1 piece of the white balls and 1 piece of the pink. And then I incorporated this kind of in back of it. And then I put 1 of these in on each side. Now, this ribbon is ribbon I had from last year. And I thought, uh-oh, I only had 1 roll. I didn't know if it would be enough. It's kind of like this mauve here. And it had the green in it that matches, and the mauve that matches that's in her shop. So I thought this was the perfect color for these colors that I was incorporating in here. I did find this ribbon. I did find it for $7.99 a roll. I put the link in the comments. Well, actually, I put the store in the comments. They have this on Walmart's website, and you can order it, and I swear it arrived in 2 days. So I was really impressed with that, because I thought, uh-oh, Monday's going to come, and it's not going to be there. And what am I going to do if I run out of ribbon? So what we're going to do is we're going to glue some of this stuff together, just so it kind of stays together. And then we're going to put 1 of these in here. Actually, I kind of want that under. So isn't this cool? Because I had to make so many, I could actually show you from beginning to end. I know, that was an awesome price, wasn't it? I agree, Monica. All right, so let's put our gold in there too. Let's go ahead and just kind of point this upward. Let's get that in there. And then we'll get the white in there. If Amy and Abba are watching, I'm saying hello. Oops. I probably would have been better off just putting the zip tie in there and doing it differently, but oh well. Of the zip tie on top. Now she wanted me to use chain instead of the rope, so I actually think I'm going to take the rope and spray it the copper tomorrow. Why not? Because it's going to be up high enough. You're not going to see it. Alright, so we're going to put this in there. Now, I have other ribbon that would go really good with this. She told me to go ahead and kind of make everything different, like not the same on each one. So I probably, and I really hesitate using this because I'm not sure it's going to be enough of a difference from that. But, oh, and I also grabbed this white beaded ribbon or beaded chain from Hobby Lobby. And I'm actually going to put a couple pieces in there. I went and spray painted that the copper also. So I was just spray painting everything yesterday. All right, where's the other one? We'll use this one. So I'm going to try and get a piece of this chain under the zip tie. And then get the jewel in there. She's all about the jewels. Now you could go ahead and put some lace in here too. And like I said, I'm going to do each one differently. So and let's go ahead and tuck that down in there. And now I'm going to get this hook in there and kind of drive it underneath. So this is going to hang down from the bow, and then when I put the other hole in this, we'll put the other one at the bottom. I kind of wanted that up higher to kind of cover up the zip tie. Now let's go ahead and clip this. And I'm going to trim this a little more. This is a really good heavy-duty canvas ribbon. Like, it almost feels like it's, and it probably is, painted, the design on it, but it's pretty solid. Like, you can really work good with it. And it just holds its shape. So I was liking that. Now let's kind of push that around and push that down. So that'll kind of hang like that. So when I add the roping to this, this is going to go up here. This is going to go down here. Okay. And then this one, she wants to hang from there. So that's pretty much how I'm going to do the other 5. I just don't think this ribbon is going to do this justice. I think this really pulls the colors out of it. So maybe I'll just do one with that ribbon and then say, okay, what do you think? Because I know now working with her that she's more a visual. She's got to see it. But then when she sees it, she adds more things to it. So it's kind of like, you know. So isn't that really different from this? Like, and you could use foil on this. You could use fabric on this. But I felt like the glitter was going to stand out more for her and where she was putting it. So I kind of feel like, you know, I'm showing you two different things. You can dress it down or you can jack it up. And like I said, now we have the topper, this topper for it. So if you ordered this one, you get the topper with the ho, ho, ho and all that. If you order this, you get the topper with the frame. And both come with the button bow holder. Now for this down here, I couldn't find any greenery that I liked, and I wanted something to lay flat. So I had actually bought this for another design I'm working on, and it has this really flat pine back here. So I just nipped a few pieces and put the copper balls down there. Thank you, Rachel. I knew you would. And then I just hot glued to the top of the glitter because, as you can see, this is not coming off. This is really attached on there. So this weld bond did a really great job. You just really need to let it set up overnight. So, and you could add, like I said, you could do a line of lace down there. You wouldn't have to use glitter. You could use fabric and staple it to the back. I think I've showed you, you know, from start to finish, exactly how I did it. You could even put some trim in there, and I did have some out here. Like, look, I know this is Rachel's look. You could even add some lace to this and let that hang down. You could even put some lace at the bottom. Or like I said, you could do lace up the middle and do the frame over top of it. So many ideas. I even had this out because I thought, how am I going to finish this off? Because when I painted it, it looked putrid. Like it just, I love the color, but it needed something else. But you could go, you know, you could go lace all the way around. But I wanted it to be secure. I wanted it to sit on there and not come off when she went to put it away. So this just fit the ticket. And like I said, these were really reasonable. They didn't have them on the website. They only had them in the store. Now I'm sure not next week, but maybe the following week they'll go on sale again. Their Christmas stuff. But I'm really happy with how it turned out. And I was excited to do it. So I worked on it all weekend, pretty much. I started on Friday and then just kind of did a section at a time until I was totally satisfied with how I wanted it to look. I thought even if you took some velvet fabric and put some velvet fabric on here, that would be really nice. But then I'm not sure if this would stick well to the fabric. And I wasn't sure if it was going to stick good to the glitter, but in using this and letting it sit overnight, it did. So a lot of process went into this. A lot of time. I doubt that I'll get my time back out of them. And I gave her a good deal because she bought 6 of them. So I think she's happy. I'm happy. I know with them being up in the shop and people commenting, I know she'll tell everybody where she got them. She's been awesome at, you know, sharing everything I've done. We made some big layaway signs for her with a sleigh on them. So, but I think we're good. The more bling, the better. And I showed her those big jewels. And I told her about them after I told Rachel when I was there. And she's like, I should really go look at those because I think they would look so pretty in her window. She thought they opened up. I said, no, they put them in a wreath. They're big jewels. I was able to snag a few green and one red because the other red was scratched. But so yeah, that vintage bell in the middle just looks so pretty. So Victorian, so shabby. So, and then like I said, once this dries tomorrow, I'll go back and I'll do the resin and I'll put the timer on for 99 seconds for 3 times. And then it's hard as glass. And it just gives it a vintage look too, because it looks old. But there we go. A lot of work went into these. And I got them and decorating the button bow holder, which I have to spray them all. So if nobody has any questions, stop back on Wednesday. I plan on putting this in a wreath. I have a really big pine magnolia wreath that is gorgeous. And I'm going to be adding lace and other things to the bow. And like I said, the balls, the poinsettias, and all that. So I think it'll be nice. Thank you, Nanny Dot. All right, and Rachel should be on tomorrow, probably 2 my time. Oh, and if any of you sell on Etsy and you got that stinking email on Sunday stating that Etsy is no longer going to integrate with Pirate Ship, that was like the final straw. So I today opened a Goimagine account. They are all handmade also. They don't integrate with Pirate Ship, but I can still use Pirate Ship. I just will have to copy and paste everything into the label. So I will keep you updated on how that's going. I had a lot of questions today. I sent them an email last night at 8:15 this morning. I had an answer to my email. And every email after that, I had an answer within a half hour. I sent them a few links to my Etsy shop. They definitely approved of items that I wanted to bring over. It's going to be $5 a month for 200 products in the shop. I have to open up a different payment account than Square, but at this point, I don't care because I've had it with Etsy. Last week, the beginning of the week, they wanted everybody to change their shipping. They wanted no shipping over $6. They wanted you to tack it back in the price. Well, they're making money on the total sale. So if that money would have been put aside for shipping, it now makes it look like, say, $12 more, and they're getting paid on that. So I'm done. I will keep my shop open. So, but I will start, and they have an easy process of pulling what I want over into the new shops, or one time only. So at least I will have my Etsy reviews in my Goimagine store, and I can also build a website through their store that is cheaper than Shopify and cheaper than Wix. So you got it, Tiff. I'm blown away at how much they've gained from all of us, and now how dirty they're being. They let everybody know on Friday about this thing with Pirate Ship, but it didn't get out until Pirate Ship was notified on Sunday. That's when they sent an email out to us. So they're doing some dirty, underhanded, nasty stuff, and I'm not keeping all my eggs in one basket. So keep watching. Once I have it up, they told me it takes between 48 hours and 72 hours for the application to be approved. But in all my correspondence with Chris today, he was dead on and answered every single question in a timely manner, and I'm not satisfied. It may be slow. It may take a while for my sales to pick up over there, but I'm starting now. So by the time Etsy pulls another stunt and everybody leaves and goes to Goimagine, I should already be set up and ready to go. And the nice thing I liked about it, you can go on Goimagine and you can search for your state. Now, they want absolutely handmade. So I said, what about my signs? What about my sublimated ornaments that we cut the circle, we press the design on? They said, absolutely no problem. So I'm just letting everybody know that if my site disappears, contact me, and I will be on Goimagine. So they don't have the foot traffic that Etsy does have, but let me tell you, everybody is getting disgusted. So I'm not going to wait around for everything to fall. I'm done. I'll leave some stuff on there, but I'm going to start pulling stuff off, and that's where it'll be. But I will always have a link, and I've been sending everybody that orders on Etsy, I've been sending you my business card. My business card has my home phone number on it. So I'm hoping that people that are ordering will keep that and call me if they can't find me. I will answer any question as soon as I can. If there's a problem with the order, I take care of it immediately. So I'm anxious to get started with them. I've been watching a lot of the influencers over, say, the last 6 months. Because when Etsy started pulling their stuff in the beginning, everybody was scrambling, trying to find a new place to go. And so you'll still be able to find me, but if you can't find a certain product, it will be over there. And I will let you know when it goes live. I will let you know when my website goes live, because I'm definitely going to do that through them. I've been wanting to do a website for a while now, so all my eggs were not in one basket, and I think this is a good move for me. So They won't allow like POD, print on demand. And I'm telling you, there are some nice things on there. A lot of jewelry. A lot of jewelry. So if you're looking, there weren't a lot of wreaths. I don't know that I searched for wreath signs, but it's a platform I think everybody would benefit from. So yes, Deb, this is in my Etsy shop. I have to make sure there's two of them in the same listing. Okay, you either get the ho 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 with paw prints or you get the Victorian one. So I'll have to go in and I'll have to change that. If it doesn't show a change, just put it in the comments you want the Victorian one. And like I said, I have to do 6 of these for a local jewelry store because she has a vintage jewel. The whole store is old. It still has the original cash register in there. This place is so... Sheila Barto's Jewelry and Gifts. She's got a Facebook page and she's amazing. So you should, Monica, because it's, believe it or not, it's cheaper than Etsy. And they have four charities that they donate to. So there's a portion of your sales that go to these charities. And I'm very impressed. He also said 4 months ago, which I'm sure is probably in the works right now, they will have nominations, or they will have like an election to nominate a seller, 2 sellers to the board. So by having sellers on the board, you're going to have a voice in that company. It is not like Etsy. So give it a check. Hey, Joanne, how are you? So yeah, I'm definitely, like I said, should hear back hopefully within no longer than 72 hours. But there shouldn't be a problem because he approved everything I showed him today. They even have like a department that will check your products to make sure. Not like Etsy where they throw that AI bot out there and that guy says, oh, I saw your picture, that computer saw your picture on Temu and then automatically deletes the listing or shuts your shop down. They don't do that. And that's what I've been fearing all along, that Etsy stole one of my pictures and that I would get shut down for something. And it would take you over a month to get in touch with them because their customer service is all gone. So they're just using computers to answer questions. So when you ask them a question, you get an automatic response. After your 3rd automatic response, it gets shifted to another computer. And then that computer, if they don't want to deal with you, guess what? You're done. So I'm not happy with that. Oh, that would be awesome. That's a great idea, Deb. So give them a check. Check it out. And I think I can even send you a link. Because there's one influencer. She has her link down there. And every time somebody clicks on her link, she gets a free month. So I think she's got over a year of free months already, you know. Tara Button is her name. And I'll tell you what, she's running a fever today, and she still got on and voiced her opinion. And not only her, there's 3 other influencers that I watched that chart Etsy, and they've all had it too. In fact, they said, guess what, Etsy, why don't you just go back to picking up the phone when we call. Like my husband said, they no longer abide by their mission statement. It's all about the dollar. So I'm just tired of being screwed around. So I'm done. All right, we'll look for Rachel tomorrow at 2 Eastern Standard Time. If that changes, we'll let you know. And no longer can you take a YouTube link and put it at the top of a post in Facebook. So if you have a YouTube link, you have to copy and paste it into the comments, or they'll shut you down. So they're getting a little Etsy on us, aren't they? Okay. All right. It should be in the description, but I don't know. All right. Thank you all so much for joining me. I couldn't do this without you guys. I really couldn't. I really appreciate all the love, the support. Thank you very much.